can you imagine? Like I look at these guys, they're like my heroes, right? Like Gilmore and Wendell and Darcy Tucker, and they never won a cup. But every night they went out and you never questioned. They entertained us for rounds and they put it on the line and they bled for us. And that's why it's frustrating when you see now they talk about what these guys should actually mean to the city if they got it done. And you don't necessarily have to hang a banner, but you have to leave your fan base knowing that you just left it all out there. And we're still waiting for that.
Yeah.
You see, Mike, I tell you what, I think Game 6. I think there's more pressure on Jim Montgomery right now. I mean, when you think that this is the second year in a row they were up 3-1, they lost Game 5 at home. They lost Game 5 at home in overtime, both years, and can he coach to get a team over the top? Even the 200-point teams, but there's more pressure on the Bruins tonight, I think.
Yeah, I guess it's the Toronto fog glasses that you always wear, but because of the history in the past. But I agree with you. But I look at, you look at last year's team. You take Bergeron out of their lineup and Krejci out of their lineup. I guess the regular season they don't look at me like a team like, wow, like this is a team you should just run and hide from. I think their top guys when they're on are very effective, and I think their back end's more balanced. And I think Swayman's got a chance to shut you down, but the Leafs should very much be able to beat this team. And I guess the pressure is on them because 2 years in a row in Boston, a hockey market, it's the same thing to come up, especially last year after what they had like 120 points or something in the regular season.
135, I think.
Yeah, to go out so quickly, but internally the expectations here, and again, this is a team that was supposed to prove us all wrong, and I just think the pressure of being at home tonight will be interesting. They should win. I mean, I think it should go 7, and I think they'll find a way to bounce back. But I guess, the pressure is squarely on the Boston Bruins. They had them on the ropes and they let them off because they certainly didn't look like a team the other night. I got to give the Leafs credit. I mean, you come out, you're up, outshoot a team 12-2 or something like that. But they didn't look like a team that had the knockout punch ready to go.
Right. Agreed.
You long term, you seem to be high on Bertuzzi and Domi. You signed these guys to extensions
at the right number. I think they've put I think they're high on I think they're making more than they're worth right now.
Right.
But if you can get them on term, if you're in a 3-3-5 area, I think they're I'm happy for Max too, because Max was he was a scoring machine in junior. And I think, obviously the name gets him put in a different category for, his dad was a tough guy and a character guy at that. But I think when Max plays with skilled players, he's a great passer. Like he's a real creative guy. I think he always leaves you want a little more defensively. He's never going to win a Selke, but I mean, when you put him with top guys, he's a very creative guy. So you put him on the power play, there's a chance he's going to succeed. But if you try and turn him into a fourth line grinder, you're going to get totally diminished results. So I really like what I've seen out of them down the stretch. But again, it's at the right amount of money because somehow you got to figure out this back end. And again, I don't think maybe Wall just becomes this guy that is, you don't have to worry about your goaltending situation. I think they probably on their own mentally check Samsonov out of it being available, but it'll be interesting if Wall can be the guy and they can free up some money to solve some of the back end in the off season. But I really like what those two guys have brought to the table. And McMahon's been a nice find too.
Yeah. I tell you what, you talk about, you obviously talk with passion of being a Leaf viewer for a long time. I think Max Domi understands what it takes to be a Maple Leaf. And I think that comes from his dad. I think that comes from his dad.
I think that's the biggest thing. Cause I mean, growing up, I mean, there was a lot of Ty's a tough hockey dad. But I think Ty's just really enjoying this part. Like, I mean, because I think Max is home. He's a guy, and I think it means a lot in this market too, to be able to handle that, to be able to go out and have that little bit of a swagger with the media, because you've been there and done that, and you've seen your dad do it, and you're not afraid. And the one thing Max isn't afraid of is being under the bright lights. And I agree with you 100%. I've never seen him look more comfortable in a National Hockey League jersey than is a Toronto Maple Leaf.